Hello everyone. I don't know if this is going to be a very long video, but I needed to make a video about Hartley Botanic's patio glasshouses. Now, I don't know if I've been living under a rock, but I did not know that they made glasshouses or greenhouses for patios and decks. I didn't find this out until I went to the garden center show a few days ago, but I saw the booth, so I decided to walk past and look at all the greenhouses that I will never have because I don't have a yard. And then I saw the word patio on a pamphlet near the front of their booth, and I stopped dead in my tracks and I had to know everything. I probably talked to them for 30 to 45 minutes just because I was so excited. Now, is this something that I will ever actually have? I don't know, but a girl can dream. But if you do have a patio or deck and you just thought a more permanent structured glass house or greenhouse wouldn't be something available for you, now it definitely is. And they even said they've installed the normal sized greenhouses on top of a building in Chicago. So I guess there is more ways to use these greenhouses than I thought, just sitting in someone's yard. Now, there are two sizes of the patio glass houses. The first one is just called patio glass house, and this one looks more like a cabinet that you can open and close. The top also comes up as well, but it's not a structure that you can step inside, but it is a structure where you can do things like start seeds, store plants, maybe over the winter. But the sizing on this one is a width of 2 feet 5 inches, a length of 4 feet 2 inches, and then a height of 4 feet and 6.5 inches. So that's the smallest that they make. And I'm pretty sure they told me that this is something that comes with either the option to assemble it yourself, or that is the only option that you assemble it for yourself. So it's a very simple structure that you can put onto a balcony or a deck. But again, you can't step inside of it. Now, the other one that definitely caught my interest is called the Grand Patio Glasshouse. This one is large enough to at least step inside, and you could close the sliding doors behind you, but this one is still a relatively compact size. So this one is 6 feet 8 3/8 inches wide, 3 feet 11.5 inches deep, and then the roof of the structure is sloped. So the back is a height of 7 feet 8 3/8 inches, and the front is a height of 6 feet 11 5/8 inches. So if I was going to get one, it would definitely be the Grand, because I think there would be space potentially. And I think if I was going to have a permanent structure, I would like something I can step into instead of something that just opens and closes like a cabinet. Now, are these cheap? No. I believe that the prices they said ranged from like $4,000 to $10,000, depending on which size, if you do want people to install it, if there's any sort of customizations that you want made. So it's definitely not cheap, but it is something that I can dream about, at least for now. I think on all of them, the shelves are adjustable. And when I was there, there's a way, I'm gonna try to explain this, but it's hard without actually seeing it, but there's a way to install grow lights in part of the frame so that you can actually use it as a grow station as well. So I don't know, I just didn't know this existed. And in case you didn't, and it's something that you might want to look into, I wanted to let you know that and list it down below. Now, even though I don't know if this will ever happen, I definitely already know where I would put it and what I would do with it. I'm very good at making plans for things that might not ever happen, and not as great at like doing all the planning for things that are going to be happening very soon. So I'm gonna take you downstairs and outside and show you where I would put it and like in general thoughts of what I might do with it. I also don't know if I need this. Well, I guess I don't need most of the things, but if it's something I would use enough to justify the cost, because I don't want it to be something that I would just use over the winter, for example. And how could I incorporate it with, the living areas on the garage deck? I don't know. These are all things to think about in the future, but I do know that if I had one, where exactly I would put it. So let me take you downstairs to the garage deck. It is, well, we have construction going on in the alley behind us, the sidewalk in front of us, and it is practice day for the Air and Water Show, which means that there are jet planes flying over every few minutes that are very loud. So hopefully I can find enough time of quiet to actually show you around down there. So if I were to have one, it would definitely go on the garage deck because this one has more space than the rooftop decks. I don't know if I trust putting glass on a rooftop, even though, again, they have installed the giant ones on top of buildings in Chicago. And it's more of a modern looking greenhouse, which fits more with how this deck looks. I would definitely get a black one, and it would go in that corner for two reasons. One, that's where most of the sun hits the patio throughout the day, and two, that's really the only space that's available for it. I wouldn't want to put it under a pergola, too much shade, and then as we go over here, that's the walkway. So really, this area is basically it. And yes, I already did bring out a measuring tape just to see if this is something that would potentially fit. So I know that the smaller one, again, would definitely fit. It's more like a cabinet. But the grand one, I measured it, and it would come out, like, let's say I shoved it right up against that corner. It would come out to this line on the tile, and then it would go over, if it was right up in the corner, to about where I've put that fertilizer sprayer. So it wouldn't take up a ton of space. Like, I think it would fit pretty well and not make the area feel too crowded. However, there's a light box back there, so it couldn't go right up against the corner. It would have to get shifted. So if it was moved a little bit over, that would leave, like, let's say I would leave one tile worth of space on that side to get to the power box. I think I would put two or three evergreens in pots on wheels here instead of having this privacy wall. So that way the glass house and the trees would provide privacy, and then I could just wheel them out if we ever needed to get to the power box, because it's not something we have to access on a regular basis, but at some point we might need to, so I don't want that completely blocked or covered. And then it would definitely go a little bit over where this tree is. So I was even thinking we could prune the tree around the glass house, and how pretty would that look? So yeah, I've basically already planned for a greenhouse I might never get, although my 40th birthday is next spring, and I have been reminding my husband, even though he already knows. But I haven't even planned, like, oh, when am I going to deadhead the plants? Or I need to go pull some weeds, because why would I actually take time to do things that I actually have to do instead of using my time to plan for things that might never happen? So in terms of how I would actually use it, because again, I want something that has a purpose all year round, I would definitely use it to start seeds in the early spring, either with grow lights or maybe starting them inside, but then hardening them off outside. Also, I would store or attempt to store some of my hydrangeas that are not panicle hydrangeas that I would move to the garage just in there instead. So we'd see what I could maybe overwinter that I couldn't just overwinter out on the deck. In fact, again, this is not something that might ever happen, and if it did, it would definitely not happen this winter. But I'm even looking at my Chicago Hardy fig and thinking, oh, I could just wheel that in there for extra protection instead of leaving it out and throwing a tarp on it, which is what I'm going to be doing this winter. And then during the season, so the doors do slide, which is good because it doesn't take up extra space by folding outward. I would probably have the doors open most of the time, have some potted plants in there. I was thinking I could put like a lounge chair halfway inside, halfway outside. Again, it's like 3 feet deep, so it would stick out as well, and read in there. And then if we had people over, I could lay a piece of wood or something across the two shelves and create like a little drink station or something like that. So yes, I do think I could get use out of it. Is this realistic? No idea. But I did want to share it because I just had no idea. I didn't know this existed. I've used the plastic greenhouses in the past, like with the metal frame and then the foldable plastic that goes on top. I know there are lean-to greenhouses that have like the hard plastic around it, but I didn't think anything this professional would be available unless it was something that we had to custom build. I also don't know, questions I don't know a lot of, how it would like be attached to the deck, if it would need to, if it'd be heavy enough. There's no floor. So if I had it, I would water just like I water any of my plants out here. There's drainage between the tiles that it would go down the gutter off the back of the garage. So yeah, I don't know. But if this is something you're interested in, and if you do move forward with any of these, please send me a photo and let me know, because I would love to see that. But yeah, I just wanted to share this because I thought it was really cool and I had no idea. And also, if you know of any other patio greenhouses that maybe are a little cheaper, let me know down below as well, because I just don't know why I thought this wasn't possible when apparently it definitely is. So that's gonna be everything for this quick video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.